What's going on, hikers? In today's video, we are going to address the question, what volume of backpack should I buy for backpacking? If you're new to the channel, my name is Jeremiah Stringer, and here we talk about all things hiking and backpacking. So if you love going outdoors and hitting the trail, consider subscribing. In today's video, I'm going to answer this question very shortly. The volume that you need depends on your needs. What I'm going to do is I want to go through and break down from 0 to 10 liter, from 10 to 20 liter, and so on, and talk about kind of the uses that you would have with that size backpack. Now, keep in mind that backpacks are typically sized by volume, and that would be how much stuff could fit inside. And normally the name will reflect that. For instance, the hiking backpack that I use for 4 to 5 day trips is an Osprey Atmos 65L AG, and the 65L stands for 65 liters. Let's start with 0 to 10 liter range. This would be more of a minimalist day hiking backpack. Some of the stuff that you could fit in there would be a water bladder, probably 1 to 2 liters. You could also fit a few snacks, stuff like a granola bar or Cliff Bars, that kind of thing, and maybe a lightweight rain shell, like the rain jacket and pants combo. Next up, let's hit on the 10 to 20 liter range. So in this range, you're still looking at day hikes, but with a little bit more comfort. You could probably fit an actual lunch in there. Again, a water bladder, maybe 1 to 2 liters in size. A headlamp, and again a lightweight rain shell. Coming in at the 20 to 30 liter range, this I would call more of a comfortable day hiking size backpack, but still on the small size. You could fit an actual day's worth of food in there. You could again fit a water bladder, or even now a couple of liters of water in a bottle. Also, you could keep your headlamp in there, a light rain shell, and maybe a couple of other things if you can squeeze them in. Next up is the 30 to 40 liter range. And this is kind of an in-betweener. I still use them for going on day hikes, but you are in between a day hike and an overnight stay, especially if you maybe have somebody along with you who is carrying your shelter. Probably a tent for the both of you. Now, these at the 30 to 40 liter range probably have a hip belt because you're going to be carrying a little bit more weight. Also, you could hold multiple meals, but I doubt that you could also take stove and fuel and cooking pot and that kind of stuff with you. So you're probably looking at either maybe cold soaking it, or probably just food that doesn't have to be cooked at all. You maybe could fit an ultralight shelter in there, and an ultralight, high rated, meaning higher temperature sleeping bag. But like I said, kind of in between. In the 40 to 50 range, now you're getting close to ultralight backpacking, and some people that have everything down pat, they may be actually able to do overnighters with that smaller size backpack. But you can now, in this range, fit multiple days of food in there. You could also take a compact shelter, maybe a bivvy, or a small hammock. You could take your sleeping bag and a couple of other comforts. If you're just starting out, if you do your research, you could fit a lot of stuff in there, but I would actually step it up one more notch. In the 50 to 60 range, now you're talking about a more budget-friendly backpack if you're talking about just starting out and using budget gear, because that stuff's going to be a little bit bulkier and a little bit heavier. You're leveling up the weight of pretty much everything that you're putting in there. Now, in this range, you can fit most of your basic needs, unless the stuff that you're bringing is just overkill. A shelter, you can fit some comforts in there like a pillow. You can bring now your stove, your cooking pot, and like I said, multiple days of food to go along with it. In the 60 to 70 liter range, this is right now kind of my sweet spot because a lot of my gear is budget friendly. And I would call this a conventional backpacker size backpack. You can fit quite a few comfort items in there. You can fit all kinds of food. You know, you could probably take up to 9 or 10 days worth of food if it's just for you. You can fit a large sleeping bag that's rated for a very low temperature. You can fit a pretty big tent in there. Heck, you could even take extra cookware if you wanted. I wouldn't suggest it, but my father-in-law actually brought an extra pan and brought some frozen fish on one trip that we took, and we ate that fish that night. So now finishing up with 70 to 100 liters. Now, this is a big backpack. My very first backpacking trip that I ever took, I took way too much crap on, and I had a 95 liter backpack. Now, there's nothing necessarily wrong with it. It's all personal preference, so you're free to pick whatever you want. But if you're going, up to 100 liters, I would call you a troop leader because you are prepared for everything, most likely. You're probably going to have multiple changes of clothes that you're going to stick in there. You're going to have just a crap ton of food that you could fit, and probably a huge tent and maybe a sub-0 degree sleeping bag. Now, the choice is up to you to pick whichever size that best fits your needs. So I'm not going to suggest that you specifically pick one size. If you're interested in the backpack that I use for my multi-day trips, like I said, it's the Osprey Atmos 65 liter, and I'll link it below in the description. Guys, that's all for the video. If you found any value in this, please smash that like button, subscribe for more, and ring that bell for the latest notification. We'll see you in the next one.